Instagram my jacket and like, get the fuck, get the fuck. Like, oh, thing. Back in the day, like FIFA coins.
Alright, okay.
So I'd trade on FIFA, sell coins to my pals.
How do we meet Finlay? He had a fucking brass neck, he came in here, remember?
See him coming in, he's just always got his like bright green aqua wind.
Aye, that's it, you're not a fan of the jacket and the shorts.
Windrunner, t-shirt, shorts.
Obviously nervous to put my face online and talk online.
So I saw you doing a couple of interviews with DJs and stuff like that. Obviously Hannah Lang for Dundee. How did you get sort of introduced to her?
Are you nervous interviewing these guys?
So nervous.
The inspiration's back.
Inspiration's back.
Inspiration's back. We've got Finlay Gordon. I'll introduce Finlay quickly. Finlay is owner of Restock clothing, an activewear and trainer brand reseller. Is that right?
Yeah.
Based in Glasgow?
Glasgow, yep.
Yep. You've probably become a bit pally with us over the last few months. Is that fair to say?
Ooh, TikTok
I've
friends.
seen quite a lot, I'd say, so aye.
Yeah. I think, how do we meet Finlay? Can you
I
remember?
basically think we probably saw him on TikTok, no? And then
No, he had a fucking brass neck. He came in here, remember?
did he?
Remember he had the brass
Oh,
neck?
that's what it was. He
I just
opened the
walked in.
shop and then he came in and was like, "Can I sell some trainers in your shop?"
Yeah, that was it. That was it,
Brass neck
basically.
gets you everywhere, doesn't it?
Shoot your shot.
Yeah,
He
you
came
do,
in,
mate. You do.
He came in, he was like, I'm just going to shoot my shot here. Big nervous guy. He's like, I'm just going to shoot my shot. I'm just, can I have a pop-up shop in here for the weekend?
Aye. It was
Yeah.
good to be
It
fair.
worked.
It was good,
Look at us
And then-
now on the pod.
There
To
you
be
go.
fair, it was the kind of thing that was there'd been a few sort of resellers, but not like doing what you're doing, but like different spaces, hadn't there? And then they'd sort of floating about, and we do trainers in here, but it's kind of a little part of the business. And then when you obviously came in and were talking about doing the sort of reselling, we just thought that's probably quite a good idea. It aligns with our customers coming at the shop, are probably going to JD and other places like that, and buying those sort of trainers, then coming in here and buying like cargos, t-shirt, hoodie to go with it. So it kind of made sense for us, and obviously yours are a wee bit more rarer, so it was quite a nice sort of collaboration, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah. It's maybe you.
And then we've not been able to get rid of him ever since, man. And now he started competing on TikTok and everything, isn't he? So
I think a lot of people obviously recognise you probably from TikTok.
Aye.
So you maybe actually want to explain a bit about your business first. You wanna,
and how you got into it, really.
yeah, and how you got into it.
well,
Yeah.
I sell like gym wear and footwear. Resell the big brands on Nike, Under Armour, and then trainer wise, Air Max 95s, TNs. How did I get into it? Like,
Was it just a passion you had for yourself?
Well-
Like I like trainers, and I would like to be involved in that business. Was it something like that, or did you just sort of stumble?
Well,
across
I've
it?
always worn it myself, but the way I got into it originally was I done streetwear shoes. So like back then it was like every collab would come out. So like Nike would collab with Off-White and release certain amount of pairs. You try, get into a raffle, you win them, and then sell it on. So I remember my first pair was a pair of Travis Scott in Air Force Ones. Got it for £140, and then sold it for £440. So that's what.
Was that just on eBay or something
Aye,
like that?
aye. So just doing that was reselling.
How long ago was that? Would you say?
2019.
Aye, okay. How old are you now?
I'm 21.
Aye, okay.
So I was 16 when I started.
Young guy doing that.
Young
Class,
lad doing
mate.
that,
Class,
aye.
mate.
So were you always interested, even when you were at school and stuff like that? Were you interested in like buying and selling and stuff like
Aye,
that? Were you always
aye.
like into maybe kind of like eBay, Amazon sort of thing?
Aye,
or-
back in the day, like FIFA coins.
All right,
So
okay.
I'd trade on FIFA, sell coins to my pals, stuff
Aye,
like that.
okay.
But then so I done the shoes, done that for a while. But then the issue with the shoes was quite like sporadic. You enter a raffle,
Aye,
might
so you
win,
could
might
maybe
not.
get a couple of pairs of shoes every so often.
Yeah. Then that was like the issue with it. It's pure random. So I thought, how can I change it? So I maybe buy shoes for like £100, then for 125. So smaller margins. and
Aye,
that-
so there's more sort of volume in it and keeps
Aye.
you going sort of more regularly.
So I done that, and then that grew my page a bit. And I think it was like
Were you restocked at this point?
I was after like 5 months of doing that. I became that doing the shoes, and then it was like the end of 2020. I was in my pee hole at school, and I was like looking about. 75% of folk were wearing Nike, and I'm like, there's a bit of a gap in the market. I can't find stuff for myself I like. Everyone's wearing it. Like, want to try it? So I bought like 5 different products, maybe one of each size. Put it on my page. Within like half an hour, 2-3 items sold. And I was a bit of a chance here to like go at it.
Was it when you were buying that sort of Nike stuff? Was it stuff that you liked that you could see in the shops, or was it sort of stuff that like, oh, this is quite hard to get, I'm gonna try and get it and sell it? Was it just like you say, your personal taste? You thought I could maybe get this?
I'd
and
say
sell it
more
to people?
personal taste, like just whatever. Like I seen I liked it. I know like my pals would buy it, for example. So if I get a good price, I'll try to sell it.
I think we were like that when we started being inspired. The stuff that we were making at the time was stuff that we came out of football dressing room and kind of knew what boys were wearing in the dressing room and stuff that we like. And you can't, I don't know where I can really buy that. So I'm like, well, I can get it here. I can make it here and make it the way we want it with this colour, that colour, this colour.
For example, like we would go to games like when we were playing. The strips were like XL. Do you know what I mean?
We're small
and
guys,
and you
aren't we?
wanted, if you wanted a strip, you had to actually go and buy your own strip for the club shop to wear
Yeah,
on
when
a
I played
Saturday.
when I played for Dundee United, I had to go to the club shop and buy a small, just so that I would.
And then the track
so I
is-
look part of it, you know what I mean?
And then the trackers you travelled in, they were like massive as well. So like when you were looking for like a fitted tracksuit, like to look good. Do you know what I mean? You train hard and like you work out and stuff, and you're in good shape, and then you've got this huge trackie on. Just as an athlete, I didn't think it really felt great, did it?
Nah,
So
it's true.
when we came out of football, that's sort of the route we went down, trying to get these fitted, not overly fitted, like skinny at that point. It was more just fitted in like a nice shape, and then that's sort of where our brand came from. Do you know what I mean? So like you, it's probably having that personal taste. Well, I
Personal
like this,
in-
and I
personal
can't get it
interest,
as much as
aye.
I'd like to. So if I can't get as much as I like to, there's probably other people that are feeling the same way. And if
Well, I do think like if you're doing a business, you have to be passionate about what you're doing.
Oh,
So if you don't
100%.
wear it yourself, you can't really.
Yeah, it'd be
sell
hard.
it
I
as
think
well.
it would be hard to have a business of like, oh, like say like Mike what's for talking say it's like how if you're not passionate about it, like how do you sell? Like how do
how do
you
you even get into it though? Do you know what I mean?
I know.
You've got to have some sort of passion that revolves around it. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, unless it's a family business, you get into it.
Yeah,
But like,
true.
otherwise, how do you even know about it?
Yeah, I grew up in like the car industry. Like my dad was a panel beater, my brother's a mechanic, and I had no passion for it at all. I hated it, but it was like I was involved in it, but I just like couldn't go into that when I left
But then,
school.
having
or
said
whatever.
that, imagine they had a big business that you could sort of go into,
yeah,
you would
maybe
know about
maybe
it.
in
but
sales or something like that. Yeah, that's maybe a bit different. Yeah,
So then, what happened after that sort of initial Nike? Like, how did you sort of ramp up to where you are?
Well, after that, next day was a website. Made the website on Shopify.
Do it yourself?
Done it myself. Made
Aye.
Shopify.
still
added
manage it
products,
yourself now as well, don't
Aye.
you?
And
Yeah,
then
that's class.
first month, £300 sales. Second month, same. And then it was January. I started doing a bit more promotion with it. Ads like influencers, stuff like that. And it was during COVID, so nobody was spending money from Christmas. So it was in January of 2021. Aye, 2021, and I got like a good volume of sales. And then from that, I was like,
You
Think
still
that
work?
was just off the back influencers, or was that were you doing a bit of marketing yourself? Or?
a bit of both, a bit of app paid ads, a bit of influencers, and then just like posting better content. So like, I wasn't like in person content.
See,
I was,
during COVID, was it hard to source the products at that time because obviously like shops were shut and stuff like that? Or was it more just the online stuff? You were able to sit online and wait for, like say, raffles and stuff like that to try and get product.
I wouldn't say it's too hard because you've got suppliers. So people would contact me and be like, oh, I can get this product here. You can't get anywhere else. Would you want it? So I've had suppliers throughout. They've always offered me stuff that you can't really find anywhere anyway.
That's
Yeah,
good.
sure,
That's good.
aye. That's a it's like you say, if you've got good suppliers, then you can we're like that with the business. If you've got good suppliers, it makes such a difference. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, when you've got a bigger page, not saying I've got a massive page, but like people, they reach out to you. Like,
Yeah,
because they
when
know
they start
I'd
seeing
want
your
it.
when they start seeing your selling product, they're like, "Well, can you sell this product for
Yeah,
me?"
yeah.
So like a lot of the people that if they watch this or listen to this podcast that do have heard of you, they'll have heard of you probably through your TikTok, won't they? So at what point did you start doing that?
November last year.
Is that all? Was it only last?
Aye. So I had TikTok for a while, but it was like me holding a show, like showing off.
So
the
was it when you
products.
saw Robbo, obviously?
I seen the main
Robbo's
man, and I was like, I
talking,
better
and
try
you're
it.
like, hey, he's the main man, and I'm a younger, better looking version. I might as well get involved.
Don't know about better
Well,
looking, mate.
what it was,
Definitely younger.
I dropped out of uni that summer there, and I was like, recently,
What were you doing at uni?
accounting and finance.
Right, okay.
At
I
Gla-
remember you saying that when you came in.
Yeah.
You saying, "I'm doing it, but this is doing well, and I've got one shot. I can always sort of go back."
Aye. So I dropped out of that, and I was like,
So how long had you actually done in the course? Just
2 years.
so yeah, right, okay. So you're
So
quite,
well,
pretty
I'm
well
not
in.
dropped out. I've deferred so I can go back
You're
in
not
a
going
year
back,
or
yeah.
2 years, but
You're not
I'm
going
not
back,
going
yeah.
back. I'm not going back. But I dropped to that, and I was like, recently, I know the content would do better if I was in it. Like, see your video, for example, like they do well. And I was like, why would I not take a chance and just go for it? So
Yeah,
at
sure.
the start, I was in the video. I was walking about town with
So
the
who
shoes.
was in the video?
Like, so like I'd hold the shoes in front of me, camera behind them,
Oh,
And I had,
right,
like,
so you'd be holding the camera with the shoe
Aye.
and speaking to that
And,
person that's in
the
front of
first one I done, it got like 70k views in like 2 days. I was like, fuck me, that's mad.
you. Aye.
Like that's like so good. You got a lot of followers back it. Done that for a few weeks, and I was obviously nervous to put my face online and talk online. But I was like, I know if I go in front of it, that like the content you can make off the back of that will be so much like better.
It's not easy getting in front of that camera, is it? It's not easy.
nah.
I've done it a couple of times. I don't mind being on the camera and speaking. The part I find difficult is approaching people. So like, see, once I've got into a conversation, it's fine. It's
easy,
like
that's the
going
easy
up to,
bit,
I
yeah.
don't like invading people's sort of like.
Do you remember?
personal
You
space,
remember
I
what
mean.
it was like? Maybe like maybe not so much yourself, but like if there was a person on the street to sell you something, or just wanting a questionnaire or a charity, or like you were younger, you'd be awkward talking
Yeah,
to
yeah,
them. You'd
definitely,
always
aye.
kind of dip the shoulder.
I instinct is
and-
going nah. Just,
Yeah, nah, you're all right, mate. You're all right, and that's the bit I probably find the hardest as well. But probably easier now because I know what people are like. So, and again, if we come to cities where maybe we're a bit more familiar with what
It's
we're
probably
doing,
a little
it's
bit
maybe
easier.
bit
It's probably
now.
easier for you now because
People
people
are like, oh,
recognise
there's
you.
the-
and
there's
then,
the
like,
boys that
you
do
almost
the
don't need.
inspired.
It's like you say that you grow a sort of thing that like people, because you get sort of popular with it and the pages like tens of millions of views, like people are more approachable to you, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah, one of
yeah,
the
you
probably
did
the
like the
hardest one we actually done was the Rangers Hibs. We went to a Rangers Hibs game at night where the guys were just on the way to the game. They weren't wanting to stop and chat and whatever. There was only 10 minutes, like 15 minutes till 10-15 minutes till kick off, and they're literally on the march to going. I'm going to the game. I'm not stopping for anybody. Whereas like when you get people in the city centres, they're out for a coffee, they're chilling, hanging about with their mates. So they're up for a laugh and stuff.
how did you
especially when
find the
weather's
football? Because
good.
you've done a few football ones, but yours is slightly different because you're not really getting people to stop and talk for any really period of time. You're just really asking a question. aren't you? Whereas like you're trying to engage in conversation, and people are like, I'm going to the game. Stop. Like,
Like,
do you know what I
piss
mean?
off.
So, yeah. So
Well, do
like,
you ask them if they want to be in the video or not?
Nah.
'Cause I always do. I always
So
before they
do you,
take part.
would you go and ask them before they were like? Because I don't. I would just be like, I'll play.
I'll just say, "Oh, would you mind taking part in an interview?"
Did you
And
see
then
the
they
guy
come
in
over.
Dundee last week?
The guy who walked past you and came back.
No, there was one guy last week and he walked past. I was like, "How you doing, mate?" He's like, "Oh, great, mate. I was meant to be in the jail this weekend, but I'm going out instead, so because I'm not going to jail." He was absolutely. I was like, "Mate, do you like the white tea or the black tea?" And it's just like, he's like, "I'll come back into your shop. Don't you worry, mate. I'm fine." I think he was just
Brilliant.
absolutely buzzing. He wasn't going to jail.
Brilliant, man.
It's class.
Sake,
Aye.
But so like, how did you sort of find it at first? Was it quite difficult to be approaching people?
100%. Like I'd say I'm quite a shy person. Like if I go into a room with people I don't know, I wouldn't be the one to like go and like, oh hello everyone. Like I'm quite like quiet. I'd say.
Do you think you could do it now compared to where you were?
I'm better.
It's
I'm
brought you
better.
out your shell.
Definitely, like 100%. But I still find it a bit awkward in that. Like
A couple of my
But-
mates have said to me, they're like, literally, when I see the videos, if they're on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, they're like, I can't believe you do that. Because that's no me. Like, I wasn't like that growing
I
up.
think it's definitely more. I think it has like definitely helped you in that respect as well, going into like situations that maybe wouldn't have been comfortable in before. I noticed that you're better in those situations now. Do you know what I
Aye.
mean?
It's easy to talk to people once you get, it's like you say, once you get chatting to people, that's the easy bit. Do you know what I mean?
well, I'd say now is quite fun. Like, but at the very start, I was quite like, oh, do you want to take part? Nah. Like that's so bad.
Yeah.
You,
But-
you take it personally, don't you?
Aye.
That's the hard part, the rejection.
But now is like if people say no, you just laugh it off or like.
So do you like obviously we're talking about the football ones, and you've done a few dodgy ones, haven't you? For attention, and fair play to you. I've been quite impressed that you've actually turned up.
Full
We
green outfit and the Rangers
so you
brave.
basically went to an Old
Bold.
Firm game at Ibrox and went with a green outfit. But you had the blue one underneath, didn't you?
Is there been any time where boys have been like aggressive with you? Like,
Well, in that
proper-
video, you had a good few, and
Aye.
then one guy he grabbed my jacket and like, get the fuck, get the fuck. Like, oh,
You shitting yourself.
a wee bit. Aye, not obviously. I was.
Jink, they like
what part of
were
Glasgow
they-
were you from?
Cumbernauld.
Oh, right, aye. So
were they
you're
were they
not even
joke
from
were they
Glasgow, really.
joking or were they serious? Was it a wee bit joke? Could they tell you were doing something to get raised like a reaction?
A bit, but I think the older guys take that personally and go, he's trying to bam me up, and then they get annoyed that I'm bamming them up. But the majority of folk know, and because I'm at Parkhead as well, I feel like quite a lot of people would have seen the page before, realise what I'm doing.
Who's the more aggressive supporter?
Rangers were a bit more aggressive.
Like, as he says, with a green t-shirt on.
To be fair though,
Who do
like
you
that's what
support,
happens.
Finlay?
I support them both equally. That's my answer to everyone nowadays.
To be fair, Celtic fans have had a bit more success over the years, so they're maybe a bit more chilled out, eh?
He supports Celtic till Rangers win the league.
Aye. Brilliant. And I see you do a few like going up to drunken people on nights out. They must be quite funny as well.
You get some good crack out of that, and the content's a lot easier because everyone's up for the video. Like, only bad part is, but some of them like rip the piss too much. Like, sometimes I can't post a video because they're a bit too gone.
Aye, too leery and
Aye.
aye.
How do you think social media is going to go over the next? I don't know, say next couple of years. Do you think like the TikTok stuff's going to keep going, or
I don't
Are
know.
you just gonna keep rolling out what you're doing now, or have you
because
got
I'm looking to
ideas
steal
sort of
some ideas. See,
diversify?
when you tell me, I'm actually going to go away and steal them.
Do you mean personally or just the whole space in
No,
general?
just like in
Personally and
a bit of both. A
aye.
bit of both. It's like, where do you see social media going? Because like there's loads of AI chat now. Like, are we just gonna boys on the street? They're just gonna get replaced by AI for views.
Like, are
and-
we just gonna get replaced?
I think
Rob was
about it,
gutted.
I don't know. I feel like it could get a bit saturated because obviously people are saying that it works for some people and they're
Yeah.
trying it. And you're seeing more people pop up all the time trying.
Sure.
The
I think the
in-person
thing that
stuff.
you've got is that it is difficult to do. Do you know what I mean? Like once you've got into the conversation, but it's like having the balls to actually do it in the first
Yeah,
place.
see,
It's
also-
not easy.
Also, it's like if somebody else goes out on the street and does TNs, a lot of people say, "Oh, you're just copying the Restock guy." Because that's what we find as well. If somebody else does it, they're like, "Oh, well, you're just copying, be inspired." Because we can almost like we're doing it originally. It's like going out with a rail on the street. And, like anybody who's trying to copy it, they get a bit of stick for it. So, aye. So
And I would say I was the first Activewear definitely the first. There's been people doing shoes before me, but not so specific on 95 and TNs.
because we've set up a couple like by going like, "Oh, we'll go into this football club or going to that basketball team," and like I feel like you're only probably almost as good as the like who's in the video.
Yeah, the
So,
content.
the
The
con-
content.
the co-
You can't almost create the content. It creates itself a little
Yeah.
bit. So if you get a good guest, like the Giblet guy was, like, he
Aye.
was class and he came across well. And then there's a couple of boys in football. The boy in Motherwell was good, wasn't he? Like,
Yeah,
and then
yep.
like you really, it's probably the person that you're interviewing. I'll say interviewing, but like the person you get on, if they're engaging, your video's almost engaging. Isn't it?
Yeah, aye, definitely. If you're at Rangers game and you get a guy come up to you, and you just is a character, and then straight away you'll see views off the back of that. But if you get a quiet guy who doesn't say nothing, like you'll not get any
Or
views
like
off
for
that.
you doing like a styling video, if the guy's reaction's a bit shocking after it, like well,
Aye.
Even like if they're not like buzzing, it's kind of like a bit flat. It's just not going to get as many views.
So where do you see the social media stuff going then? Do you think?
well, my plan is to keep on pushing as much as I can this summer. This summer, I feel like we're big because Activewear is most popular in the summertime. So got a few trips planned, and then I think long term just keep up going more places we've not been before. Because when you go to a new city, you'll see like that area get a lot of new following. That went Dublin, and off the back of that one trip, got 5,000 new followers.
That's good.
We've seen the
That's
same.
good, man.
We were the
So,
same.
who comes up with your content ideas? Just yourself?
Aye,
Aye.
I've got a few boys helping me out. But
Yeah. So how many
it's all
boys
me.
you got working for you now?
Right now too?
Two. Aye, class.
And
And what?
are boys coming up with content ideas? You're just sort of sitting around chatting.
well,
Well, try this.
If they think of any, they'll just suggest it. But it's mainly just me that comes up with it all.
Aye.
How do you find that? Like just being on your own, like sometimes is it tough, or do you like bounce, would you just go to the guys and say, "What do you think about this as well?" Like bounce ideas, because we've obviously got each other that for over 10 years where we can bounce ideas off each other all the time. And, like it's not just us that make this. Like one of us that makes a decision. Say, "Oh, by the way, do you like that T-shirt? I think
I
we should
think it'd
order
be
that."
difficult. Like fair play. I think it'd be difficult just to do it solely on your own. I think it's helpful to have somebody to do something.
Somebody,
because you get bigger and bigger.
Well, to be fair, the two that I'm working with now are both becoming a lot more like passionate that goes on because they're getting more involved in it, and that's what I'm wanting. And for their sake, like even when they're not with me, they'll come up with ideas themselves, and that's what I want them to be like. Because that way, if they're more into it, then they'll help
the
me
more
more.
helps you,
proactive
doesn't it?
people can be, the better. I see if when you're hiring staff that like if they're proactive, it makes your job easier, and you put more trust in them, and they're proactive. Like we've got certain people in our business where we didn't need to even go near that side of the business because it just gets takes care of it.
Are
Do you know
they
what I
your
mean?
pals that work
Aye.
with? Aye, good.
Both my pals, one from uni and one from my school.
Aye, good.
Brilliant.
And
And that's good. See if you can keep that going on and on and on, because we're the same, eh? We've always had like friends and family running through the business for 20 years, and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's for 10 years as well, eh?
So what's your plans? What's your big plan? You're hoping it's going to be a big summer for you. What's your plans?
Well, I think the main event we've got is a festival in Tenerife. So we're going there. That's probably the big one.
Very good.
We've got a few other trips in there. But off the back of the trips, you're hopefully going to, when we're like in these places, there'll be a lot of attention on them because we're going on holiday. So we're hoping that that'll be big, and online sales is for us.
You're selling
big.
trainers and gym and activewear to people going to raves and festivals.
And party places and holidays, like if you're going like Magaluf, Zante, Ibiza.
See with the raves, obviously, like your videos have been loads around the rave scene and stuff like that, and like how much do you think that the fashion's changed over the years from like when where did you ever go to any raves when you were younger? It's not something really, I was really into, but like I can guarantee you the boys weren't wearing Nike sets.
Well, even in Europe, it's so different. Like,
really? Right, okay.
A lot of our comments are either older folks saying why you're in that to raves, or you have Europeans saying why you're in that.
Why do you think it's been adopted to raves and stuff?
I think it's just more like practical. Like if I'm going to a rave, I'd rather wear like sun, move about in a bit more like.
We were saying a couple of years ago it was like festivals, no, like Glastonbury and things, festivals like that. We had noticed more and more people wearing like activewear, like Nike. And we weren't really sure it was like a fashion point or was like a price point. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a bit cheaper, but people like nobody gets slagged for wearing Nike, do they? Do you know what I mean? And it's just
you can wear a £25 t-shirt and a £25 pair of shorts,
and it's hot and sunny, and like
and
you
not get slagged. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Like you could get your Nike t-shirt at Sports Direct and nobody will say nothing to you.
I know what you mean. Maybe I said that a bit, but I also think practicality. Like
it's just a practicality thing.
A bit of both.
Sweating in it.
But now you said that, because like a designer top, you're looking at like £100 sometimes. Whereas if you're wearing a nice Nike top, you're saving a lot of money.
You get them bright as well, can't you? You get like bright colours. You probably can't get. There's not. Just over the last couple of years, we've noticed there's not many brands that do like bright coloured stuff. Do you know what I mean? So is that something as well? Like you can get like pure bright blue, fluorescent. Do you know what I mean?
I'd say my most popular colour is pink. If you get a bright pink in, that's really, like the best selling.
We had a bright pink t-shirt over Christmas, and people were the young team were coming in and buying it.
We
didn't sell it online that well, but it was
a
sold
slow
really
seller
well,
online for us. As soon as we put it in the store, it went daft.
Don't know why, but all the boys love it.
That's interesting, yeah.
So like, how long have you been going to like raves, stuff like that?
Personally, like a good 2 years.
And you've just always been wearing stuff like that?
I've always worn.
So is that just kind of the music you're always into, or is there anything else you're into? Like, you just kind of a bit.
In terms of music, I'd say either like techno music or a bit of indie.
But indie?
Quite like bipolar.
That's so bad, so random, isn't it?
There's a little bit of this. Got to chill out after it, wee man.
Yeah, I want to come down.
Hey, come on.
Nah, like see a bit like Catfish in the Bottom, or like Kasabian.
Alright, okay.
Liam Gallagher.
Yeah, don't mind that. I'm from Dundee, so the boys up the road.
Basically, just all the music we listen to when we were on goes just come round again.
Yeah, it's like fashion, isn't it? It just goes full circle.
But I would say like that rave scene is like me and my pals would go there all the time. Like before I'd done content there, so now I can go there and make content. I can like make money by doing what I like. Like I'll go in the queue doing interviews, then go in after.
Aye. So once you've done your content, pack up the car, the stuff with your camera equipment.
Go enjoy the show.
I saw you doing a couple of interviews with DJs and stuff like that. Obviously, Hannah Lang for Dundee. How did you get sort of introduced to her?
Well, originally it was by chance we got the first big one. We were in the queue outside, and the owner of the company, it's like,
the owner of like the events company,
they seen our stuff and then, if you want, you can come back here, and do like interview us. So I interviewed them, and then we seen BLK, who's one of the biggest from Ireland, and I was like, can I get an interview with you? By chance, that I got on after the show.
Brilliant.
Like, no way.
Shoot your shot, wee mum.
And he was the first DJ that I've ever seen, and then like one of my favourites. I'm like, no fucking way. I've got to interview him. They got him. And
are you nervous interviewing these guys?
So nervous.
Really?
Obviously, you have one take.
You've got one shot at it.
And in the first one, like, I nailed it perfectly, but somebody walked in front of the camera.
Right, okay.
And I was like, I better do it again. And I stumbled my lines in the second one. I was like, fuck off, no way.
That's the thing, is you can edit these things as well. You know I mean? I'm guessing you over the time as well, like you're starting to edit your videos a bit better as well. You're getting used to how do you edit? You're using like CapCut or
CapCut and that, but now I've got an editor.
All right, okay.
Recently I've only got one.
Outsource that.
Yeah, quite a lot of time getting taken up. But so off the back of the first BLK one, since we had one big DJ, then if you message them, they're like, oh, we've done this one here. You've got the proof that you can do it. Like,
gives you a bit of credibility, doesn't it?
So then Hannah was one of the ones I wanted to do for a while, and then met her in Newcastle, and then interviewed her the following week, in Ireland, Dublin.
How did you meet her?
I just gave her a message and I'd love to like come down and do an interview with you. And she's like, aye.
That's
for it.
class, man. Good.
So going back to like kind of product as well, like obviously like you're selling the activewear and stuff. Is that kind of what you're always? Are you just always in that? Like, do you know like I wear activewear, but it's normally focused going to the gym. Whereas like I'm going on a night out, I'd maybe wear like jeans or cargos or like, you know what I mean. But like
What other
I've
sort of
kinda-
basic? I think you're getting. What other sort of style fashion do you
yeah,
like?
have
Is
you
it
got
just
any other?
activewear?
Have you got?
I'd say what you sell. They see like the cargos
Okay.
and like
I don't think I've ever seen you dressed apart from like what you're wearing now.
I'd only ever wear it on a night out. Like
Mm,
if I'm walking about during the day, it'll be gym gear probably.
yeah. Okay.
Every time you come at the office and like, oh, because Finlay obviously shares a office warehouse that takes some of our space. So see him coming in, he's just always got his like
Aye.
bright green aqua wind.
Aye, that's it. He's not a fan of the jacket and
Yeah,
the
he loves
shorts.
it. It's even a
Aqua
triple set,
shorts.
isn't it? It's like a
Triple.
windrunner with a matching t-shirt,
Windrunner
matching
t-shirt,
short,
shorts,
and then he's got the
and then he's
95s
got
with the wee
95,
mint bit
aye,
on
aye.
them.
The
Yeah,
full
cool.
shebang, innit?
Oh, it's maybe worth asking you. What are you? 95s, TNs?
I'm 95s.
Oh,
All day
95.
long.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why? What's the reason behind that?
I think they're a bit smarter.
Okay.
So like, I think TNs are cooler. Like I've got one now. TNs, the whole shoe is patterned, right? So I think that's cooler. But 95s are like more of a staple. You can wear it with
Do you think
anything.
they're gonna stand the test of how long? Do you think they're? Everything's got a life. How
Aye.
long do you see?
95s came out in 1995 and they're still popular.
Still going.
But they go through cycles.
They
though,
go,
don't
yeah,
they?
for sure.
Yeah.
Like I remember the first round.
See the young team in that? Like,
Uh-huh.
you'd wear them down the fields. Stuff like that. But I
Aye,
think
aye.
now they're becoming a bit more
Down the
fashionable.
field.
Down the
Do
field.
you want to explain what is down the field?
Just where you get on it when you're a wee guy. Brilliant.
Aye, but they were down the fields getting on as we. They've just grown up.
Yeah.
Aye, but I feel like now,
Maybe
like,
guys are like 46. What did you say? Like,
you see folk wearing them on a night out nowadays. Like you wear them with cargos, or like down south you see like streetwear with like pure baggy
Yeah,
stuff
true.
in
Mm.
95s. I think they're becoming a bit
Even,
more
like,
stylish.
When you first came in, I was like, oh, TNs and that. I don't know when but then I sent you that picture of those ones, and it was like, I don't know who it was, but they'd done a collaboration. But it was a guy that was like pure trendy, and he's got them on and look really good with like sort of streetwear stuff, not just activewear. But
so what's next for the product wise? Like, do you think, say for example, TNs and 95s do die off? Like, what you gonna go full circle on? Like, what you gonna
nothing.
bring?
It's just it's TNs and
Yeah,
95s.
I know.
till
Until I
die, innit?
die. I don't fully know. Like
Mm.
I guess just whatever comes.
What
more
about
trend.
your own sort of thing?
I
Would
feel
you-
that'd be like probably
Your
the
own
best
sort of
plan.
brand or something
Aye.
like that. Yeah.
Longevity wise, like that holds out more. And like
yeah,
I'm technically doing a lot of promoting for Nike and Under Armour.
yeah.
Even
Well,
though
that's
I'm
it.
not at
Yeah, you
I'm
definitely
like,
are. Yeah.
the exposure I'm giving them, I'm getting like close to 10 million views a month.
Mm.
If I'm giving that to them,
True,
If you could do that for your own sort of brand, do you know what I
Aye.
mean? No, that'd be
Mm.
cool.
because even though the product is in the video and people are looking at that, like the content of the video is the main focus. Like if I've got a different brand, I think the views will still be justice. Like,
yeah.
same
Sure,
amount.
like you say, it's the character almost.
Even if
in
you're
the
basing it
brand,
off the
yeah.
back of like obviously Nike and Adidas and whoever you're Under Armour, but you've got your brand within that as well. Do you know what I mean? So that's everyone recognises that, but you've got yours
Mhm.
within that as well. Would be
Mm.
quite cool.
We had a greedy tea that we brought out a couple of weeks ago. It's sold out now. Like it was in a TikTok video with Ryan, one of the boys who we've been using for the
graphic
video.
at the
It's
back.
graphic on the back. And honestly,
on the
the
back.
t-shirt's gone. It's gone full.
Uh,
Like
It's funny
people
how
were
see how you
coming in,
just see
people-
how you mention it. It's funny how things just get picked up when you're in like a TikTok thing.
It's
Like,
because I
yeah.
seen him that night,
Uh-huh.
and when it got posted in the comments, all four of the top comments, like
aye,
graphic in the back.
honestly,
on
it's,
the back.
it's so. Were you not saying
we
something
could,
like,
ma- we
so,
could, we
spicy
could,
and
play,
that?
we
Spicy.
could, yeah, spicy when wee Bobby was in with a high vis vest on.
Aye,
And
it's
I was
funny,
like,
man.
oh, it's spicy. I think that's a bit spicy in that. And then straight away, people are actually coming past the shop going, spicy TikTok. And I'm like, what? Like, it's mad how people just
they
grab a
just
hold
grab
of
on
something.
one wee thing, aye.
Yeah, so. Aye,
So
it's
Ryan's
class.
coming back in to do a wee graphic on the back, and
Yeah, there, so we'll make a graphic in the back campaign. won't we?
class.
Yeah, we're always looking at like different boys to bring into the TikToks as well. So it's not just like myself that's doing it. Yeah. So I kind of like to oversee them, but like with them.
Because you look 46 these days, wee man, innit?
Oh,
Well, I remember when I first met you, you were saying, Hingy, you were saying that you find like if you're scrolling on TikTok and they see your face, they'll like watch it more. Do you find that much?
Yeah,
Like,
people
when-
do recognise obviously Rob, and we were talking about that as well. It's good having people come in, but I think you need a bit of consistency. So it's nice to have like obviously Robbo put another video up out the other day, and it got more views again. I just think people realise that that's the brand owner, and he's been doing it for a long time, so it's just instantly recognizable as like be inspired.
Well, when I first started doing the videos, my original plan was to get 2 other people doing them with me, and I'd have like me and a girl doing it, so like you wouldn't have just like me
yeah,
as
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But after me doing it for like a few weeks or a few months, I feel like I became restocked rather than like
Yeah,
presenting
you
for it.
probably are like, because
Yeah,
I bet when
exactly.
people see you in the street, like they'll just go restocked.
Aye,
Like not
aye.
even like, because people say that, like will say that
It
to
takes
us.
time to build. You could obviously get somebody to come into it and do it as well, but it would take time to build that. Like even Cairo's probably got it as
Yeah,
well. People recognise
1,000,000%.
Cairo for doing it, and the two of you have done it for so long. But I don't think you can just bring some. Like we've obviously tried to bring a couple of people in, probably like a younger sort of audience as well. The younger people. And we've even used the model to do it as well.
Yeah,
And I think
so.
if you do it, it needs to be
Again,
everything's consistency. You need
consistent.
to do it consistently for people to have that attachment between that person and your brand. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, cool. Well, one question we always ask on the podcast is, who's your inspiration?
Or it could be what is your
What is your
inspiration?
yeah?
Who's been the main one?
People that say.
I don't actually know. Like, I don't have a
Are you
set
probably
person.
still on the young, like
Phase.
young phase that like.
Is there not anyone that sort of inspired you to get into business, or like what's made you think, what's inspired you to do what you're doing?
I don't have a good answer for you. Like, I don't actually know a person. Like, I've always been interested in it. Like, I suppose like
Interested in money.
Aye,
At the end of
money.
the day,
Money
like,
is.
it's like a lot of people want
So
money.
that's your inspiration,
like,
money.
Aye,
Dollar bills.
get it, shut
money.
No, well, like
Cash.
growing up in that, I'd always watch like Apprentice and that. Like, see
Okay.
watching that stuff, and like you're always like surrounded by it, and like I feel like in terms of, like with FIFA, for example, I try trade to make more coins. I always like the idea of making more. Like, so
It's
I
like
guess.
success, isn't it?
Aye.
It's like
It's a
gaining.
measurement of success. That's what they say, isn't it?
It's
Money's
like-
like
Yeah, it's like
it's not the
gaining
be all and-
traction. It's like, oh, that worked. And you get a buzz out of it.
Aye.
If something like that's what I get a buzz out of. See, if something works, I get a buzz out of it more
Yeah,
than
yeah.
like money. Like, oh yeah, money is great if that ever comes or whatever. But like seeing like our products come in, a product come in and selling out that night, it's like
Yeah, I get a
that's
buzz
the
off
bu-
product.
that's like
I get a buzz off product. Then if people buzz off that same product, that's
I
good.
probably, and it might sound bad now, but I get a buzz off views now. Which is see, like put a video now and it gets 5,000 views. I'm like, oh, that's a bit shit. So it's like, see if I see a video comes out and in the first hour, like I remember with Ryan, was it the Black Friday campaign? Me and Ryan went up to Wingstop, and he'd posted it in. I think we posted it in here. By the time we walked up to Wingstop, it was sitting on 5,000 views, like between here and there, and
Was
it was
that
the Black
when the
Friday. I'm sure
Bobby
it was the
came
Black
in,
Friday one. It was
Bobby
Bobby
when
and
he
the
came
Black.
in here,
Yeah,
aye.
I'm sure it was maybe the Black Friday one. And we were like, and at the same time, the phone was going mental because the online Black Friday had launched, and I swear, man, it was nuts. It was literally just going. It was just like pinging on the phone.
Crazy that one. That
See, I think that's bad, but like, as much as I like the views, see when you like looking at it too much, you get too like focused on it and like bad for your mental health. Like you're like always checking it. Oh shit, that's been bad. Oh,
yeah,
That's one thing I would say about like business in general is like you get addicted to stuff. Like I get honestly, see the amount of times I pick up my phone. Battery could be dead and I pick up my phone up. It's so bad.
That's
like
bad for phone, innit? Yeah, I'm bad for that as well.
and it's just like wanting to like check how the sales going. Like, is everything all right? Like, if there's not been a sale for a while, is everything all right? Do you know, like, is Shopify still working?
Because I mind back like last year before it was as popular now, but like I'd have days where like I'd maybe get 1 or 2 sales and I'm like, is there even any point in doing this? Like, what's that? Why is it so bad? And like,
It's the hard thing because like at the end of the day, you can do as much as you can do, but at the end of the day, you can't put people's card details and then pay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can only really control what you can control. That's the hard part. Like,
Yeah, that's
maybe
probably
that's where views like that's the thing I control. That's why you get a bit addicted to
Ah,
that.
yeah, I would probably say that because like if you know there's a good bit of content going out there, you like this, because then I'll get.
It's hard though because you'll make a good bit of content. So we went to New York and we did this content. It was like these street performers. And we're like,
Brilliant, man.
this is fucking class.
This
These
is
guys
gonna,
were brilliant. Honestly,
we're actually planning.
they were so
we're going to
good.
come back to America. We're going to get more people
gonna get
on.
them
Like,
to do it. We're gonna get them to
we'll just
fly
go
about
around
and
every
do-
different city in
Honestly,
America.
they were fucking brilliant. And then we
Right.
released it, and they watched
the
it. It was
videos.
mental.
I don't know if it's because it was targeted like a British like where when we posted it, but it was like an American. It was in New York, but it just didn't align with where if we had like an American account in New York, it might have blown up.
Well, how did you find going like to Ibiza?
Ibiza, what do you mean?
Ibiza.
Like,
Like for content wise, with like
Aye,
how did it
well,
do
it
we've
was
well
done
view
good.
wise?
It was good.
Yeah, so
Like-
we've just done different places. We
Aye.
started off in New York, and when we done, so it was the last day of the photo shoot.
You didn't really do many TikTok.
Yeah, but you were still
Aye,
getting.
we were
like,
we were thinking it's gonna get 2 million views in like an hour. And
I think that
aye.
maybe like not long before we'd had like a giblet guy on the street in Glasgow and had 2 million views off this, and like we were
Yeah,
like
of
we'd set a
course.
standard.
Then you're
so
like,
we were like,
that, like you say, that's the hard part. Is like you get like 200,000 views now, and you're like, oh, it's not that
it's
good.
only
Do you know what
200,000.
I mean? It's
Imagine,
mad.
imagine having to pay to get 200,000
mad.
views. It would cost you about $4,000 or something. Do you know what I mean?
But going back to, I think you're talking about like TikTok and stuff like that sort of content. We've not really done that sort of content in like
Nah.
Ibiza or we've
Well, we've done it
some in
once. Remember
Marbella.
we done the? No, we
Was
did do
Chris that
Ibiza.
did it, wasn't it?
We went to Ibiza.
Did you do it?
Me, Chris.
I bet
in
you
Cairo.
didn't do much of the content, did you? It was
Nah, I
Chris that
left
done it.
to do
Yeah,
I
yeah.
left Chris to do it. Yeah.
Was that
I
what
think
season
I
was
think
it?
it's something we'll do over the summer.
I think it's something we should do. We're going to Euros, aren't we?
Euros is planned.
Okay, okay.
We've obviously got like a T-shirt that's releasing. It's like it's called the Dalglish tee. It's a bit of a like sort of a nod to
Football
like
heritage.
football
background.
heritage. It's like got the lion rampant on it, and we were thinking about taking that over with a few other things in the collection and just pairing it with stuff and sort of going to supporters and seeing what they think of it and just talk to them about the Euros and stuff like that and
I'd
because
try to do some
we both
content
played
on the
football
other
and
tee.
stuff.
The other tee we've got that we've not ordered.
What's that
Just
one?
take it out
Oh,
on the
yeah,
street and
yeah,
say,
yeah.
would you
Yeah,
wear
yeah,
this?
true, aye, true.
Actually, just get a test. Should we bring it out?
I do find that the TikToks as well, as much as they're good for views, is actually very good like market research. Like see like
Yeah,
what questions you're asking, you're getting finding out exactly what they want, if they like it, don't like it,
Mm-hmm.
and like you can actually use it for like
So
knowledge.
true.
maybe a case of like, see when you do like samples and that, we should take them out
Aye.
on the street and say
Yeah.
which one, this one or this one.
Just
this one,
samples
this
just
one. Yeah, yeah.
arrived. Just got.
We're out on the street today. Like
See when you start talking to people, that's when you get ideas for it. See if the people didn't talk, you didn't get ideas.
True.
Like there's an
that's
idea.
our
we
next
just
TikTok is like
next
we're going out
TikTok.
on the street with some samples and like which one should we order?
should order
TikTok told us to
Oh,
buy it.
order this or that, and then just sell it through TikTok Shop.
And I was
only.
like, fuck, that was my idea.
Yeah.
Aye, do you think you can sell on TikTok Shop?
Well, we spoke to an agency last week, and we spoke to TikTok directly about setting it up. We done it
We done TikTok
two
live,
Christmases
didn't we?
ago. Was it 2 Christmases
I
ago?
think we did it 2 Christmases in
Yeah.
a row.
Yeah, we done it around with the Black Friday period, didn't we?
We did it Black
And
Friday. both
It was
days.
me and him in the warehouse. It was freezing.
No, the first one was in the
In the
pop up
warehouse.
shop. Remember the pop? Was that the first one or the second one?
that was.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Remember we
Yeah.
did the pop up shop in Edinburgh, and I was on my own.
Yeah, yeah.
it was a nightmare.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you was
You
through
had
the back.
You had to go back and get stock because we were selling
Yeah.
out, and I was on TikTok live on my own. Pure, hi guys.
Hi guys, it's me.
What, selling
Mark.
it on live?
Yeah, selling
Yeah,
it live,
so
having to jump off camera, try stuff.
we
on,
done-
come out, oh, look at
But
this.
Black Friday, we done like obviously the Black Friday deals through TikTok, and I think we done about $5,000 in a day, just on Black Friday.
Aye.
The Black
T-
Friday
2 hour stint, wasn't it?
2 hour stint. Do you know
That
what I
was
mean?
good, man.
I have
Good
heard
cash,
that's
man.
meant to be very good for promotion.
Well, it's something we would like to do more of. It's just difficult because me and Rob will end up, and Cairo, to be fair, end up having to sort of jump in and do it. And then you've obviously got all the other stuff you've got to do as well. That's the hard part. Is like,
It's almost like if somebody sets it up, organise it right. You need to be there from that time to that time, and just do it instead of like us having to organise what we're doing. It's
organise
just
it and
like-
then do it as
It's
well.
like a bit like the podcast. We've not done the podcast for nearly a year now, and I've had people come to me in the last couple of months going, "Why not doing the podcast?" And it was brilliant. I listened to the first 10 episodes. It was great. So it was like, well, if you like it, then somebody else must like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So why
Like
not
you say,
just
it's just
talk to
organising.
people we know, and like it could even just be me and
we
Mark
run out.
sometimes.
We run out
eh?
of time during the day.
Yeah,
like,
during
do
the
you know what I
week
mean?
we definitely run out of time.
Do you find that running out? Is not enough hours in the day for you?
Aye.
Well, I suppose
I
when
know
you get
you're.
up-
I
when
know.
you get up, when you get up at 12 o'clock. Do you know what I mean?
I
You're
know
running.
your tell the trips about your routine.
What's your daily routine?
I'd say I wake up about 9.
9?
9, 10.
Aye, at
9,
night.
9,
At
9,
night.
10,
Aye, good.
9
9
to
at
10,
night.
9 to 10, and then I'll probably come in, do the orders, emails,
At
into
what
that.
time?
Getting about 11 on average. On average, about 11. And then
He's got his-
Average about 11.
He's got his 2 wee mates in there for about 9 o'clock.
Running about, comes in,
And then-
bosses them about.
I'll get on with as much as I can, content for the day. Try to go gym at some point if I can, and then I'll put up to like
Do you find you make?
1-ish
Do you find
working.
you make a lot of like your day spent just making a lot of content?
I feel like I'm always chasing. Like I need to get more ahead of time.
You
'cause
won't.
I'm not.
You won't ever do
Never,
that.
mate. No,
Never.
don't worry about that.
But I
You've
feel like
done it
I'm always like putting part aside for doing content each day, a bit aside for that each day. Whereas I'd rather plan
All me
ahead
and
for the
Rob will
week.
feel is that we're putting out fires all day, every day.
Yeah.
It's like,
Doing
I
the
need to
issues
run
that
that
come
one,
up,
need to
aye.
run that
Yeah,
one,
I
need to
need
run
to-
that one.
oh, there's a problem. Fix that. Oh, there's not a problem. Ah, that's
that.
what happens. Is
I
yeah,
feel like my time management is quite bad.
yeah. But that,
You're obviously doing well,
you're in,
though, mate. Do you
You're
know
in
what I
that
mean?
great startup phase that I love. Like, do you know, like
Everything's
that,
exciting.
it's exciting.
everything's
Aye, it's
fucking-
like there's small,
push, push,
really
push.
small team, and you're just like you say, you're chasing this class. That's when it's when you're when you're in sit back too much in control, and there's like it could probably get a bit boring for you. Whereas like when you're chasing, it's exciting, man.
December there, I was having like 5 hour sleep nights because I was like trying to make as much as I can. The month before that was my best ever month, and then in December I doubled it and a half because I was going at it like
Brilliant.
Yeah.
throughout the whole like day, I was graphing.
So what you do? What do you think you were doing to make those sales go up at that point?
I was pushing out campaigns and stuff, and like making like each day I was making new content, and the content was going like on average like 250,000 views, I'd say, for each video. I was making sure I was going to everything. Like I came in here for the shop on the Saturday. That
Yeah.
night I got my BLK interview.
Mm.
Back in the next morning, shop again that whole day. Like I was grafting away.
Yeah, you hate graph, mate.
It's good,
It's
mate.
class,
The more effort you put in, the more you'll get out. Do you know what I mean?
Well, definitely. Aye.
Yeah, good. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed your wee chat.
The interview, aye. How you feeling now? We bit nervous before you cruised through
That
that,
was
mate.
quite easy.
You giving
Could do it
yourself
again.
out of 10.
I get a 6, 7. I think it was alright.
I think Visma
Come back in a year and be 10 out of 10, mate.
Yeah,
I'll
I'd
be
be
hosting the
interested.
podcast.
I'd like to have a conversation in a year's time and see where you are. See if you've hopefully maybe done a brand. See what you're doing. I'd be
Hopefully,
interested
hopefully.
to
Yeah, good.
like the start of your journey and hopefully see you kicking on even more, mate.
Well, aye.
Well,
Thanks
cheers,
for having
man.
me. Appreciate it a lot.
Appreciate
No,
that,
not a
man.
problem,
Good
mate.
lad.
Good
Cheers,
lad.
mate. Good
Cheers,
lad.
buddy.